Julie, Apple shares up more than 5% right now. Why?
So I think there's a lot to look forward to here. On one hand, the smartphone market is going to grow by about 50% over the next 5 years, so there's a lot of upside in that market. But there's a lot more to come. There's a lot more to come with the smartphone living within a bigger ecosystem inside of people's homes. A lot of upside to come with things like virtual assistants and voice assistants when they launch their HomePod here in December. And then there's all of the services that they sell, whether it's Apple Pay or the content that they sell.
The services business hitting an all-time quarterly record. He told me over the last 12 months, services has become the size of a Fortune 100 company. It's a milestone we had projected to meet, but not this soon. We couldn't be happier with how that business is going.
Yeah, so I think they have to be happy about that. That's going to be an important revenue stream for Apple, just like it's going to be for some of its competitors as we look forward, as these other hardware markets begin to mature.
Shira, what's your take on the broader Apple ecosystem? We focus so much on the iPhone, and we know that we're expecting a new iPhone in the fall, but everything else is also moving the boat, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that it was impressive that in the third quarter, when you saw iPhone unit sales in particular be basically flat, that services, which are things like App Store downloads and Apple Music subscriptions, that rose very strongly. And so the big question for me is, can that services revenue continue to grow quickly even if iPhone sales don't, right? So how independent is services revenue from the iPhone?
Okay, so on that note, everybody was focused on this revenue guidance because it may give some indication, Julie, of when the new iPhone will start being accounted for in their revenue. What do you make of it? Because on the one hand, services could make up for a greater portion of the revenue. On the other hand, that iPhone could come sooner than we think.
Yeah, so I think the services isn't going to move the needle that much in the near term. I mean, primarily, Apple is still a hardware company. 60 to 70% of their revenue still comes from the smartphone. That's still going to be their biggest category here in the foreseeable future.